Sentire Media.
All right, lots of energy this time. Here we go. Good morning. Thank you so much for downloading again on this 11th day of March 2021. My name's Jason.
Ciao, I'm Ashley.
And together we live, own, and operate La Tavola Marche, a little agriturismo. I guess we're promoting our agriturismo again. Why not? A little light at the end of the tunnel. It's a beautiful late winter's morning. We woke up frozen again, just like normal, but there is not a cloud in the sky. A little bit of morning haze, but nothing big. There's not going to be a cloud in the sky. It's going to be typical temperatures of late winter, about 12 degrees.
And then at night, morning, -3.
Yeah, so same as the last time we talked about it, but the owls are hooting in the evening at dusk, and the birds are chirping in the morning. We haven't heard from the cuckoo bird yet, nor have we heard from the woodpeckers.
Nope.
But that'll be later in the season. The barn swallows have.
But everyone's waking up.
The earth is waking up, and so are we.
We had a busy little week or two between the last podcast, so this one is going to be jam-packed.
We're going to keep it moving and keep the energy alive. So we are back in red zone again. This is our rolling out of hard lockdown into soft lockdown, back to hard lockdown.
So red zone means you can't leave your house without a self-declaration, and it is only for a necessity. Grocery store, pharmacy, doctor's appointment, or specific work that's still open.
Most of the shops are closed.
Everything's
closed again. We'll see if building supplies are open or hardware stores are open. We'll see. They might be essential. But, good times.
So before we went heavy lockdown, we were in yellow and orange and back and forth again in the last bit. And we did, Gaggi and Rossana came over right before the last lockdown. And Rossana, we had seen them for his birthday, and we told you guys the story. And Rossana kept talking about getting 10 kilos of vongole, the little baby clams, to come and shell them. And if she got 10 kilos, can we shell them together? And it was like, yeah, great, whatever. And something about Friday. Well, Gaggi refused to relay any information throughout the week about this. He wanted no part of it. So we were WhatsApping with her. Finally, yes, it's all set. They're coming over Friday. We're not exactly sure what's going on. She's bringing vongole and all the makings for dinner.
Well, she wanted to shell them. Now, I think she wanted to shell them because they were actually fished by someone she knows.
Yes.
Otherwise, I don't see, because you can buy fresh vongole shelled in the fish shops.
Oh, yeah, and we've talked about this before. Rossana is a woman with people who do things for her, whether it's making fresh pasta or typically sometimes she'll get these shelled vongole in a little sack ready to go.
So to do this is no big deal at all. You get the biggest pot pan you have, a little bit of water in the bottom, some if you want anything, some lemon herbs, whatever you want. And you just steam them open, and then you strain them through a pasta strainer and then sit there meticulously picking out all the meat from the tiny little clams. You double strain the juice that comes out to get any sand. You run it through a really fine mesh strainer, and then if you have cheesecloth, is even better. And then you save that juice and you freeze it or whatever.
Sounds 1, 2, 3. Easy enough. Not with Gaggi and Rossana. We were realizing they're like the Costanzas, but Gaggi is way meaner than Jerry Stiller. So since Gaggi doesn't want to do this, he acts like a child. Rossana comes over with everything and just some orders for some pots and pans and things she needs, and some salt to to clean the vongole in.
Oh, that's another thing. Really interesting. She took rock salt and rubbed the rock salt between her hands to clean off the vongole. I thought that was ingenious.
Yes, she was not happy with how fine our salt was.
I had thicker salt.
I know, and I didn't know where it was because you were helping Gaggi because he refused to be up in the kitchen.
So Gaggi knows that Gaggi's
This is woman's work for him, first of all.
Yeah, but 10, 15 years ago, he was into doing stuff like this.
But he'd still say this is for the ladies. He'd chain smoke in the kitchen and watch, but...
That's true. So now he doesn't want any part of this job. So what he's doing is calling me down to the garden or into the garage to help him with shit that really doesn't need to be done.
Not at all.
In the objective of taking me away.
Totally. And Rossana, all she wants is, where's Jason? Where's Jason? I am not who she's looking to do this with. She likes to have him around in the kitchen, in his kitchen. So it was just something that should have been 1, 2, 3, turned into a lot of screaming, where's Jason? Both screaming for him in the kitchen, to then Gaggi down needing him to bang some nut out that's broken for no reason at all. And it was just a classic shit show, but it was perfect.
Once we got settled down and everything together, it went 1, 2, 3. And
Rossana likes listening to music while we do projects and singing along. Gaggi says it needs to be pure silence and no music. So we pumped the music since this was a Rossana project. So it was just kind of classic. I don't know. They crack me up. The other thing, so we told you guys about Gaggi's birthday and now this, and then the last podcast as well, we talked about the road work the meeting that we had.
So the meeting that we had has not materialized into squat. 6 of us got together and filled all the holes on the road.
Yes, on Saturday. And it's always interesting to see who shows up for these things. And to me, it's the ones who are the hard workers are the ones who care. I don't know. So a couple guys from along the road did not show up, and one young guy in particular. And as we're working along the road, one of the workers says, at the end, we should show up at his house and walk through with muddy boots and ask for our aperitivo. And so it's kind of fun just hearing the locals shit talk each other. One of them asked us as we're working and filling the holes and stuff, hey, where's the old man that we always see in the garden? You know, the one who yells at everyone. We were dying. We were like, oh, Gaggi, the doctor. Yeah, that one. He yells at everyone. And he was like, I'm surprised he's not here. We said, thank God he's not here. He'd be yelling at us during all of this, too.
Oh, he'd be controlling, which is the worst.
Oh, you missed a spot.
So the heavy gravel that we got will last 2 weeks before the next rain comes, and the tractors and wood trucks and cars that pass, the holes will fill up with water, float all the stone, and as soon as you pass through, it knocks all the gravel out. And we're back to
and we all knew it as we were doing it.
We kept joking.
Oh, hopefully it'll last 2 days. Better enjoy your drive home, because that's the last time it'll be nice like this. So, as Jason called it, a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. It's better than nothing. We know it's not going to last. I guess it just makes us feel good to do something.
Well, now we can say we do it every year. We did it
twice a year.
Twice a year usually. Whatever. It's not going to save your suspension of your car, but
no, it's not. What else have we been working on?
Croissants. We are 80 I am basically can confidently say I'm 80% of the there. Mm-hmm. There being
consistent, flaky, laminating.
To get the next 20% to where it's like, oh, this is a professional, beautiful every time, is going to take much more time, equipment, and it's just now the investment. So that first part is easy. Then getting it that last 20% is much, much harder. So doing them, as I've been doing this every day, sit down and kind of work numbers and figure out, is this financially worth it? The answer is kind of no. Mm-hmm. Having one product like that and there's no population around here, and
unless old Kenny, we know you're listening, wants to come out and open your French bakery.
Yeah, but croissants
and cannelés.
Even if we did that, I don't want to open up a small bakery, and there's no population to do it here.
That's the bummer. We've realized we do not want to leave this area, which also confines us to some alternate business choices in the future, because we've chosen to live where it's very rural.
Yeah.
This is not a high croissant eating crowd. Who are looking to pay for
a something different, mm-hmm. and it's more of a they don't care. Even if they did, even if it was a hit, there's not 10,000 people.
No, I was going to say even if every single person had one.
I can't. There's no. So then it's like, okay, you have to open a micro bakery, and it's, I don't want to be chained to. I like doing it. if I had to do it all the time, I think I wouldn't like it.
No, but some of these projects remind me of our buddy from college, Luke, who got his engineering degree.
He got his electrical engineering degree, and then as soon as he got it, he was like, okay, well,
I know how that works.
Now I understand how that all works. I'm not really interested in it anymore. Well, at least I didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a degree.
No, just
just 10 kilos of butter and a little bit of time.
And a ton of weight on our hips.
But now I know how to make butter dough.
Exactly.
I can make it. It's good. It comes out pretty damn good. Today's batch was very nice, Clark.
It
real
was.
nice.
Even the scrap pieces I rolled up, and those were real good.
Plus, as it's getting nicer out, I'm less wanting to be stuck in the doing that in the mornings, because now I want to get outside.
It was funny because people have been curious of Gaggi's reception to the croissants. It is a waste of time in his mind. However, he would like them fresh and ready when he's here in the morning. He came over one day and was watching Jason with the dough, and he had already had one from a few days before or something. We'd given some to them, and another couple days later, he comes over and Jason's folding the dough, and Jason's like, "Look how good this dough's looking." And Gaggi's like, "Yeah. You need to wake up earlier, so I don't want to be looking at you doing the dough. I want to be watching you take them out of the oven." And it was like, oh, but this is a complete waste of time. But have them hot and ready for me.
I totally agree with him. Oh my God! Speaking of food, grocery store. My grocery store.
Your go-to.
My go-to in the Urbana got a new look. They closed for 2 weeks, and this was a grocery store that probably needed an update. It was, looks like kind of bare and white and all that.
Simple, kind of simple, just Italian. Small town grocery store, nothing special or flashy. And when we saw that they were going to close for some renovations, we were cracking up because we thought, okay, we've seen quote unquote renovations out here. Sometimes they just paint green, or we were like, they're just going to
paint in it.
Yeah, they're going to just tilt the cashier registers like a hair of a degree and be like, ta-da, grand reopening. We showed up, and let me tell you, if you've been listening to this podcast since lockdown, our main event is going grocery shopping. So this was a big deal. We were pretty excited. Let's go see Kickoff Day, their grand reopening.
It was totally transformed.
They have a new entrance.
The lighting is all this all the cases and the shelves are modern, and the lighting is
Did we walk into Milano? Where are we? Big city?
So we walked through the whole thing, and I've decided I hate it. I have to change grocery stores.
He's like, I just wish it was how it was. I don't know where. He sounds so funny because I don't know where anything is anymore. There's so many lights. You have to pick numbers to get into line.
It's all this spotlighting. They went with how all the modern stuff is now. The open ceiling with these spotlights coming down, and it's really, if you stand in the wrong place, it's really harsh in your eyes. I hate it.
Not only that, everything's now automated with you have to get the number at the kiosk to go to the different counters. And Jason's just used to
I'm used to the shit show. Yeah. I'm used to the you ask the person
who was here first,
who was here last, who's the last person in line, and now you have to go to this computer thing and touch it, and it spits out a ticket, and all the people now are following the system. I'm done. I don't like it.
But there's now fish.
Yeah, that'll be here 6. There's no way.
That was pretty exciting. It was like, oh my God, we have a fish counter, which caused drama at the meat counter because it's taken over their space.
So the reason why I like this grocery store so much is because my butcher, Macelleria GS, has a little satellite place there, and so I figure, well, I'll go to that one. If I can get the same meat that I get from my good butcher, why go 2 different places? I really like this place. These are my peeps. I
know. These are your ladies. You also are not thrilled that it's gone the way of a lot of the bigger stores out here where the produce section is shrinking.
Yeah, they went way more packaged stuff.
Mm-hmm. And
which isn't a bit it just means now I have to go to another stop. So if I have to go to another stop to get fruits and veg.
Oh my God, he sounded like some old lady the other day. He came home and didn't get a case of water, and I said, what happened with the water? And he said, oh my God, I got all the, you know how water's always at the end. Well, I got to the end and went to the checkout, and I said, where's the water? And she told me it was back at the beginning. I couldn't go all the way back through there. First of all, our grocery stores are nothing like what you would imagine in the States or anything square footage. Why? So it's not
I couldn't be bothered. That was the last straw, by the way. I'm turning in my rewards
Your
card.
rewards card?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Oh, so those are our dramas that we have to deal with. I'm trying to live my best life out here, and the modernization of the grocery store is real. These are real difficult times.
I know, especially when that's our main source of joy is to go grocery shopping. So I went out last week to go to Colderetti, the farmers union, and that's always
normally this time of year. We save all our bureaucracy for usually the late winter, early
and
spring.
I'll give a shout out to the farmers union. They've done a great job trying to help recuperate lost funds. No, better than the just general.
Excuse me.
Yes.
14 months ago, the farmers union screwed up so bad that
Oh.
the EAMS was threatening to cancel our business license because they didn't send the right documents.
This is true.
Buck Colderetti.
Okay. Well, they're making up for it a little bit. But anyway, I had a meeting, and the main head guy, Alessio, is like, meet me there at 10. Great. So I get there at 10. He's late. So I wait about 20 minutes or so. He shows up, whatever. And as he's coming in, he's like, give me 5 minutes. I just got to get situated. Great. No problem. I'm already waiting. He pops out after 5 minutes. Oh, forgot something in the car. Got to go. Comes back like 5-10 minutes later.
Oh, 5-10 minutes.
He did not forget anything in his car. Right on the corner, downstairs, one flight of stairs down from the office, is a cafe. He went to go have a quick shot of coffee and 2 cigarettes. And then came up and was like, okay, now I'm ready to see you. So it just kind of cracked me up. I love it. Forgot something in my car, aka a cafe and cigarettes.
Every time we have an appointment for this, I go, Ash, why are we leaving on time? There's no reason. This guy is always 30 minutes, like a solid 30.
Unless it's like he's there, unless it's an 8 a.m. thing and it's right
that
first thing.
That happened once.
I know it didn't
happen
once.
Happened once.
And then I had to go.
We've been here 13 years.
Then I had to go to the satellite office on Friday to drop something off. Because Italy is now entering the modern technology. They are using satellites to check your farmland instead of old-time helicopters or old-time whatever. So he said, no, we did the satellites. You're all set, whatever. But he needed me to fill out some other thing and bring it back. And he was at the satellite office, which is always what cracks me up as well.
Oh, now that's confusing. You said satellite office, and you're talking about satellites.
Oh, sorry. He's at the alternate office for the farmers union.
There you go.
And it is in the back of a feed shop. You go through a mini hardware store, past all the bags of feed, stacked way high, and in the back corner is a tiny desk with a chair and a printer. And it just cracks me up. So once a week, someone from the farmers union comes out there and
usually without the documents that you needed to do the business.
It's hilarious. He was again now 45 minutes late this time, and this time I'm with all the old guys, and we're just yakking it up and talking about the weather, and they're getting the last pellets for the season. But I don't know. It's that small town stuff. It just cracks me up. So between the farmers union and working on the road, it was very quaint around here.
Other things going on in our little neck of the woods is garden time again.
Yep.
It's time to start getting the seeds going for the garden. We will be planting tomato seeds this week, not in the ground, obviously, but in their little cups to sprout them into seedlings and then transplant them and put them into the greenhouse. We'll be doing tomatoes this week and onion.
Okay. Maybe some flowers too.
Great. Whatever you need.
Big package arrived yesterday.
We got a big package. We got our shipment of hand tools from the Netherlands. If you're looking to get a gift, I like things that I touch all the time. I want them to feel good in my hands. Mm-hmm. And
this was kind of a birthday present.
Yeah, this was my birthday present. Hand tools, the like hose and spades and
things you use all the time.
We just have the hardware store ones, and they're just shit. I don't like how the handles feel.
They bend.
They bend. They're just cheap. So I finally said, you know what? I like gardening. I like agriculture. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. So we invested in some really nice hand tools, and half of them came yesterday.
I know, it's so classic. The packages left the same day from Holland, and only one arrived yesterday.
The DHL guy calls me yesterday, goes, I have your package. I go, packages. He goes, package. And so I show up, and I go, where's the other one? He goes, what do you mean the other one? I go, look, on your thing, it says 1 of 2. He goes, oh. Yeah, I don't know. I just have this one. It's like, all right, well,
Right.
We'll see if this is a problem.
Oh, my gosh. So these are fantastic, handmade, hand-forged. Our Dutch neighbors have used these for years, and we had worked on many projects with them before, so it's like you'll use their tools, and it's like, God, these feel so good, and they last so long.
So they're made out of stainless steel. They have beautiful ash handles, the T handles. They look good and feel good. No one paid us to do this. We spent our own money. Sneebauer from the Netherlands. Go look them up. It's worth it. If you have someone you want to get a gift for who loves to garden, gorgeous present.
It's spelled Sneeboer.
There's no U?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. Check it out. Sneebauer and Sons.
And then,
And you got another tool.
and then also to go with my new hand tools, we got this week a used half a tractor.
Piano, slowly.
What do I mean by half the tractor? Well, this is called a walk-behind tractor, or in Italian, a motocoltivatore. It looks like a motor. It looks like a beefy hand rototiller, except this is a diesel engine with a output shaft, so you can put different tools
Implements
on the back. We got this from our friends Maki. They're
the gelato shop?
The gelato shop. His father got this many years ago, and it was just too heavy for him to handle. It's a
beast.
It's a beast of a machine, and you can put different. So you can have a rototiller, or you can have a lawnmower, or you can have a.
What's the thing on it that's like grinding it up?
It's called the trinciatura. It's a bush hogger.
Bush hog.
It's bush hogging.
Grayson's been wanting a bush hog for a while.
You can put a snow blower on it. You can put all these, anything a tractor will go on, plows, any of that stuff. But now I see why he why he couldn't use it, because this man's in his mid 80s, and this thing, if you make the wrong, like say you won't think you're in reverse, but you're really in first gear, and you let go of the clutch, and it goes forward on you, there's no holding it. It's going. If you're not on perfectly level ground, and you have to kind of we're not you kind of have to hold it. It's a core work, like it is. You're tired at the end of this, so it's cool.
It's cool. Greatest fear, Gaggi will break it.
That's the thing.
He
refuses to read the instruction manual. Nothing's labeled. There's 4 forward gears, 4 reverse gears. There's a differential. Like there's all these levers and buttons, and
there's a lot going on.
There's stuff going on. It's like
Jason printed out the entire manual for him
in Italian,
and he threw it back at him and said, "What the hell do I need this for?" So that's great.
So if you're interested, Ashley will put up a picture of it. It's a jolly motocoltivatore
from Goldini.
It's basically, even though it's 2005, it's basically brand new. The guy never used it.
You said the knobs on the tires.
The little rubbery knobs from when they make the tires are still on them. the little part at the top. When I drained the oil, it was gold. I mean, it was totally ruined because it sat for 10 years, but it was gold. Just like brand new. But
I know. It'll be great. I am nervous for Gaggi. Oh, and I forgot to mention one other hilarious thing about him with the hand tools you bought. You sent him some photos this morning, and he texted back, it looked like Roba from Bricolage, which is, he says it looks like cheap crap from the kind of crappy hardware store. And then we said no. And he wrote back, as of today, don't touch any of my tools. You've got your own.
Whatever.
He cracks me up.
Also with spring brought a JR. JR's been around. Who's JR? Well, JR is a stray little cat that
looks exactly like Boy Cat.
He looks
but
like
small.
Well, not small, just not fat.
Yeah.
Our Boy Cat's fat. So I call him JR, and JR likes to come around at about 3 a.m. and cry underneath our window, like that cat.
It's horrible.
It is.
But the other night he didn't come at 3 a.m. because he was well fed. Jason heard him outside and was like, oh, JR, is that you? Come on over, buddy. And then all of a sudden at the same time, Jason realized, oh my God, I put a pot of beans with ribs outside on the front porch, like out on the front to cool, which he normally does in the winter. I got to go check those beans. He runs over and you just hear him go, oh my God, JR ate the ribs.
Well, JR found the pot of beans and he was nosing through them.
We were dying. We felt so hillbilly that split second where you're like, do you still eat them good beans, right? Oh no. This was how my grandpa ended up with
Tell
E.
the story
coli.
real quick.
My grandpa had E. coli. And when he went into he was terribly sick. And when he went into the hospital, they were like, okay, this has never happened before. Normally, we can identify exactly what gave you the E. coli. With your grandpa, there's many things it could have been. It could have been the dead crows he had hanging outside of his house to keep some other animals away. It could have been the stew that he ate that had been in the back of his truck for a few days. Or it could have been the deer that he hit with his car and then made
Probably made the stew out of.
We were just like, we're going to turn it to my grandpa. Could have been the beans that the cat was nosing through that got him. So it was like, oh my God, toss these freaking beans.
So we tossed the beans and we're trying to lure JR, but he's his own man.
Oh my gosh.
So he's
I know. We can't get him around yet. Oh, Facebook Marketplace. Every morning Jason starts here.
We're like ADD all over
I know,
the place
it's fun.
here.
It's fun. Sometimes we have a slow podcast. Sometimes we got a lot going on. Jason loves to check Facebook Marketplace. We've discussed this other times on the podcast.
I hate Facebook, but I love Facebook Marketplace.
You never know what you're going to find on there. And we've talked about this. And the pricing is all over the place.
Left flip-flop? You're looking for one flip-flop? Just the left one?
Some really cool woodworking tables for not too crazy.
It's all over the place.
But what have you found a lot of lately?
Restaurant, professional restaurant equipment. So this is the first sign that I've seen of things slowing down like at a like fundamental scale. All of a sudden on Kijiji, what is it? Kijiji? Uh-huh. Okay, there's like 3 or 4 like of these eBay sites in Italy. Kijiji, Subito.it, and Facebook Marketplace. I'm sure there's others. But those are the big ones. Tons of good-looking, used professional restaurant equipment
and some
online.
lightly used?
Yeah, like
I know.
Looking new. So that's not a good sign.
No, but it's a good one to put in the back of your kind of thought for equipment in the future. Do we want to get, like, we've always said, even if it was just a place for us, you'd want some of that stainless steel or some of that equipment.
But I think the more underlying thing is that all these restaurants are closing and now you're seeing all their shit online.
Oh, big time. We're still looking for those tractors to drop in price.
Yeah, tractors haven't dropped, nor has real estate. What did we hear about weren't we talking to someone about the Echo bonus the other day? About something new?
And they were saying again that no
one's gotten
no one's gotten it, and no workers are able to be found.
I think we already mentioned that, though.
We did have one question here about salt that I was trying to find for you. One second. Now I'm not going to find it. I had it all pulled up.
Dead air.
Oh, my God. It's gone. Here we go. This was from a couple weeks ago when we asked about some questions. My husband and I are moving to Ascoli Piceno. That's the southern part of La Marche. I am a cook and a baker. Here in the U.S., I use Diamond Crystal Kosher salt for all baking and cooking. Is there an equivalent in Italy? Or do you want? I just thought this was a good way for you to talk about salt a bit.
Salt, there's a million salts.
Exactly.
I don't know about Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. I used to use in the States, and every professional kitchen use kosher salt. Out here, I've used fine Mediterranean sea salt. There are literally, you have salt from Cervia. You have salt from, where was the other one from? The Po salt. You have, there's 1,000.
There's so many salts. It's great.
The only thing is you will notice that the salinity of the salts will vary very drastically. So when you do something by feel, like a pinch of salt by feel, if I change up my salt, then I either undersalt or oversalt. So I stick with one brand of Mediterranean sea salt. I stick with another brand of the Pope salt for like salting the meats or for the pasta water. I don't use the fine sea salt. It's just, I don't know, I don't. And then I've got half a dozen other salts for meats or black salts or,
finishing salts.
All the Himalaya, the red salt, all those dumb ones, but all those, not dumb, but trendy ones. Mm-hmm. But don't worry about it. You'll go and you'll find a million different, and just choose the one you like.
Yep. We normally keep, like you said, a fine salt and a rock salt or a grosso, fino and grosso on hand. And then, like you said, some of the other ones for different stuff. Also, she had a question about yeast and something about SAF instant yeast that comes in a 1 pound package. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure the yeast is different here than it's in the States. So I just thought maybe for bakers or people, maybe you had 2 cents on yeast.
Well, it's just, I think in North America you find more instant yeast or active dried yeast in the little envelopes, whereas here it's all fresh yeast. They come in the grocery stores. You'll find 25-gram little cubes, and it's fresh yeast. So for a lot of the recipes I use, I have to go to a yeast converter, which will convert active dry or active dry yeast and instant yeast, the grams or volume measurement into fresh yeast. And then, of course, if you go to a Ingrosso,
like a Costco
big supply store for restaurants, you'll find half kilo blocks, 1 kilo blocks, but that's a lot.
And you'll find them in the grocery store since it's fresh, in either near like the milk and cheese and stuff, or behind the counter.
Yeah, sometimes you have to ask for it. And there's lots of different types. Like the Conad yeast sucks. There's one type, I forget, it's got the green writing with the white. And that's a much better yeast. And what do I mean by it sucks? That's not a good descriptive word. It's not as active. It's not as, I don't know. It's
responsive.
I don't know. It tends to when I use it for the croissants and stuff, I use a slight freeze, and I find that the Conad yeast doesn't bounce back like the other one does.
Okay.
I don't know. You're gonna have to play with them. Mm-hmm. But yeast is not. Yeast is yeast, kind of, but not really to me, because I will search out that one brand that I like.
All right, that was
Where was that? Where were those 2 questions last week?
I forgot them.
You just had all the crappy ones?
Yeah, you were just in a pleasant mood, and it was like, moving on. Was there anything else? We've covered so much in this podcast.
Whoa!
I know.
No, let's go.
I know. We've got croissants to bake.
Deliver.
Yes.
All right, bring us home.
All right, thanks so much for listening. You know where to find us, latavolamarque.com. Shoot us a question, email, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all the places at latavolamarque, LATAVOLAMARCHE. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com. That's SENTIRE media.com and find out how to submit your show.